Inside by the 600, Isaiah 3 deep, followed by Regal Class. Wider out then came Shoo Hoo. On the fence, Sunset Pete with that white blaze, and then the grey Jupiter Rising, and Ryamar is back with Granui. On top of the corner at the 400, they'd straightened, and Sense of Power led Feed a Merit. Mrs. Brown's Boy, Bushfire Blonde behind them. Sunset Pete cutting up on the fence, and further back Regal Class, but starting to wind up down to the 200. Sense of Power in front, won't be for long though. Along the rails comes Sunset Pete. Fair Dinkum scraping Dulux at the 100. Sunset Pete bursts through, rushes to the lead, and a double for Matty Ortier and Darren McAuliffe. Great rails hugging ride here on the winner. Sunset Pete from Sense of Power, Mrs. Brown's Boy or Feed a Merit, and a blanket go with Ryamar, Jupiter Rising, Granui all close up. Regal Class peaked on its run late. Bushfire Blonde finished in front of it. Then Pat Chirac, they've come home at massive intervals. Then Shoo Hoo and Isaiah pulled up at the post, and there's the riderless one also going to the turn out of the straight, and that's Fryer and Dice. So the rider's come out over the top of its neck at the start, whether it slipped in the stalls and then got going, scrambled out. Fryer and Dice's rider Peter Nucky went over the top. Haven't seen Pete yet, but I'm assuming that he's okay then as we wait for the numbers here. But it's Sunset Pete. Sunset Pete taking out the second last event of the day from Sense of Power, and Ryamar, Mrs. Brown's Boy, photoed third. Jupiter Rising, Feed a Merit, Granui all close up in front of Bushfire Blonde, Regal Class. Number 13, Sunset Pete. What a double this is today if you're following the DMAC stable. They've had a $49 winner. Now they've had a $62.20 winner. $12.50 a place with Sense of Power $3.50. Two Mrs. Brown's Boy got the tap for third, $1.90. So it's 13-11-2. One finished fourth, Ryamar. And as far as the market went here on track, Sunset Pete at $71. $71 and a big long price double for the McAuliffe stable in partnership with Matthew Ortier. The winner by Alfred Nobel from Sunrise Over the Sea for impressive racing. T.O. Day, P. Boardley, M. Rampant, B. Franklin, B. Facey, N. Nicolias, M. Griffiths, J. McGill, J. Mast and G. Renane. And didn't have to go around a solitary horse here to get the chocolates in race number 7. It was a rails hugging ride par excellence by the Frenchman. Sense of Power second home by Discorsi from Crow's Nest. Jeff Durant, Jason Miller for Andy Phelan, handled by Clint Johnston Porter. Mrs. Brown's Boy third by Discorsi from M.G. Brown, owned by Shane Ewing, John King, Ann King and Ann King, trained by Ann King, ridden by Alan Kennedy. 2 lengths into Longhead with the margins. 128.33 for the 1400 recorded. It's a 38.35 last 600, and Pete Nucky okay walks back towards the yard, and it will get news in terms of whether the horse is to be declared a definite starter from the stewards very soon. Race 8's at 4:35. 7 Bella's Keepers out. Kate Witten's on 11. Inherit the Magic as we take you back to Adam.
Credit where credit's due. Darren, you came up to Mark Olmos and myself after the win of Queen of Tees, and you said that's not even my best for the day. You said this thing worked the house down the other day, and despite how good the field was, it was going to win. Well, you didn't lie.
No, it was a strong field, and yeah, he got the job done. It was a beautiful ride by Matthew. He let him relax early and switch off, and horses always promise the world and failed to deliver. And Matthew and I, we went out for dinner on Saturday night, and we sort of both discussed that he sort of just needs to show a bit more toughness and be a little bit more genuine, but you can't question his work. He worked with By Decree last week, and she couldn't get past him, and we all know how well she's going. She's ultra consistent, so you know, coming here for a 3-year-old 0 Metro win, we're pretty confident.
Do horses like this frustrate you, ones that promise the world but just don't have that killer instinct on race day? And are you now hoping that with this performance that you may see that come in?
Yeah, I think it's probably, hopefully the confidence builds with him going forward, but I think the soft ground really helped both my runners today. I think that's probably the biggest thing. But you know, he's had a few little niggles, a few problems, and I think spacing his runs and also spacing his gallops leading into. Most people would sort of gallop a Tuesday, even Thursday, leading into a Saturday race. This guy is probably more like 10 days away from racing. You got to sort of space him, so that's the secret, I think. So anyway,
well, it's worked a treat. As I said, I know you were confident. I heard the owners behind us have backed Queen of Tees into this one, so some pretty happy people on course. Congratulations on the win.
As long as they remember the trainer.
Exactly right. We'll grab Mathieu Autier now as well. Matthew, we just mentioned it there. Darren told you the same thing. You just told us you said it at dinner. He said it again today. This horse will be winning.
Yeah, well, I won't have much to say after what the trainer said. Obviously, I think the Red Shoes made a good job on a Saturday night. But no, well, only I say he settled beautifully. I just wait for the cutaway and he just ran up. And I think today the best part of the track is obviously on the inside. So he just did a great job.
You've ridden some good races on this horse too, and like we said with Darren, has showed ability, just lacks that instinct to go. But did you feel that better today? Did he really click through the gears? Yes,
well, I really felt him good on the trial when I tried him recently, and it gave me a nice feeling just before the race on the pre-lap, and I was like, oh, he looks really nice today. So I just wanted to get the rail because I really wanted to get the cutaway, and he just did what I was thinking in my head.
Good double for yourself today, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There's Mathieu Autier taking out to race number 7 here. Sunset Pete adding even more value into the quaddie.